education battleground. Today, teachers maintain their rage against government determination to slash the education bill by closing 55 schools and axing 4,000 teachers. The government branded the strike irrelevant. The teachers, meanwhile, will roll the industrial action on into schools in the eastern suburbs and progressively throughout the state. But behind the political rhetoric, what does closure mean to an individual school? In a moment, the Education Minister, Mr Don Hayward, but first, Michael Short with a portrait of one school, Ardoch Windsor Secondary College, that would seem to be a special case.
When I first started here, I came just as a helper for a breakfast program, and I got to know the kids, who are the most wonderful kids I have come across.
Students want to stay together and they want to be together, and to show that the school is still running as normal.
Breakfast was probably one of the most recent innovations, and it's been running for approximately 4 months now. Initially, we had a group who raised money for that breakfast program to come into being. And what's happened and what's developed out of that is a real atmosphere of love, in actual fact. We have the director of the body shop coming in 3 days a week to help run that breakfast program as well, to be there. In fact, it runs itself now because the students run it as well.
Keep coming to breakfast and just keep coming to school at normal. Yeah.
Our company uses this as an opportunity to put something back into the community, and we got involved well over a year ago now, and the value we get out of it is actually quite immense. It motivates all of our staff, and me personally, I get a hell of a lot out of it. I love to watch the way that these kids have actually changed whilst the programs have been going. They've come in with lacking self-esteem and grown very strongly through it.
You don't get picked on as much as you would in other schools, and I mean, this school is like one big family that, you know, everyone looks after everyone, you know, they just know, yeah.
They say they can move the welfare programs to another school, but they can't move the atmosphere of this school. They can't move the feeling that we have amongst the school community, that it's like Diana said, a family.
This school is very rare. I mean, how often do you see schools that provide a breakfast when parents can't afford to sort of like make their children good breakfasts like French toast, anything, cereals? And how many schools do you have doing that? How many schools do you have looking after children, seeing that they're safe at home or any environment, just caring for them?
The whole way that the kids are treated at the school, and the way that in turn they treat their staff. I go to meetings of other welfare coordinators in the area, and I'm astounded at the level of violence that they're reporting is occurring at their schools. We don't have that violence here at the school. We respect them as individuals, and they know that they will be listened to before any action's taken. It doesn't mean that they run wild, because they don't. They're very respectful.
The government's shown signs of listening to what we've got to say, and we're going to work on that and try to keep this school afloat and surviving.
It's one of the best schools I have ever seen operate. My daughter attends the school and has done for 4 years, and she travels miles to get here every morning.
What we're working on at the moment is a proposal to try and keep the site going, okay, so that we don't have to move. That would be the ideal.
I think we'll be putting up some very, very positive suggestions to the government. We've got a week to put something up to them that will actually work, and we think we can put something up to them that is going to help this school to continue.
I still have its fundamental belief that what we do here is right, and that in the end that right will triumph, because just because it is right.
I believe that if you put to anybody the right proposal, that if you back it up with enthusiasm and good sense and get the numbers right.
It's rounded off 6.08.
You put it exactly the right way and get to the right people, and we know we can get to them because we saw them today. We'll be able to convince anybody, because this is a right thing to do. I don't think the government feels very comfortable about closing this school down. I think the government really wants an option open to really keep it going.
I've been at this school longer than anyone else. That may not be quite true, but I think it is. What we work to achieve is to help them to survive in the outside world. We help them with the ability to find housing.
I should. I will. No.
We now have 6 sponsored flats, and by that I mean we've got businesses such as Esprit and the Body Shop, and private schools such as Wesley College, who actually put up the bond. She had nowhere to live. She was coming to school from a brotherhood bin. She had exhausted her options.
Housing was found for me immediately, even from food too. Like, I wasn't eating, I was actually malnutritioned at that time. The school got me food, the school got me clothes, the school got me everything I needed.
A learning experience started for us from that day one, 5 years ago, when Eloise came as a Year 11 student with that ambition to be at school. And
I've just completed my 3rd year at uni.
3rd year arts education.
It's not so much that homeless people need to turn into good middle class citizens and be well educated, but the point of me getting there is that they have the choice. What I wanted to do was give something back to Ardoch, and what I really wanted to do was just help with the housing program.
I don't have parents to sort of restrict me, but then again, I discipline myself. So.
You are empowered as a being, as opposed to being given charity, which you can become really reliant upon.
I was sort of trapped before.
They are going to school and they are learning. And I'm talking kids that are sleeping on park benches. They don't have to sleep on park benches anymore, thanks to Kathy and Mike and people in this school.
Yeah.
The community's showing support, and I think it's time for the government to show some support too.
They've actually given us some very confident feelings. They've put resources at our disposal to actually come up with a plan, so in fact we should be able to if we do the right thing, we'll get somewhere.
A lot of affection, a lot of, it's a much more normal atmosphere, I think, than probably what most schools really are.
They just have to come down here and see these kids and see the good that's happening, and that most of these people, like a lot of people, are on the streets and homeless, and that's just ridiculous. You know, these people have been brought back to life by school, by an education, and that's not just education, that's care. And if the government can't see that, then they must be blind.
Every individual, no matter what their academic record is, can learn and can get through the education system. There's no such thing as a failure. It is so important that Ardoch, in the broader picture, be used as a model to be assigned to other schools and what they can do. I really see Ardoch as a school of the future.
Michael Short compiled that report. Mr. Hayward, thank you for your time.